listen. When God speaks, you owe it to yourself to love.
Ladies and gentlemen, Doc Holly.
Hello, my loves. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode. I tell you, I'm so, really humbled about bringing forth this topic this week. It's childish adult behavior is what we're talking about. But this particular topic is dealing with cyberbullying. And so the interesting thing when we think about bullying as a whole is something that you find that is done amongst our youth and adolescents. And not that it makes it any better, but at the end of the day, for you to reach adulthood when we should be more focused on life and doing things to be more productive, you would think that people would not be about childish behavior. But that's not true, because adult cyberbullying is really more common than we actually think. And so there are so many studies that are out that when it comes to this online hate, it is impacting all ages. There is definitely a way that we can turn this thing around and shift it to where we can put an end to it. But it really is going to take for people to become united in order for it to come to an end. And so, shockingly, the reality is that, cyberbullying is so common amongst adults. It really blows me away, but it doesn't surprise me because I was utilizing a particular platform, a social media platform, during the pandemic in 2020. And when I tell you what's common amongst that, the adults that are there, because trust me, it's adults, is cyberbullying. And so this cyberbullying is really like an umbrella term to describe like really online abuse. Cyberbullying is for cowards, okay? And so it is a way for them to harass, to try to attack people's reputation. Even like some people, like the whole revenge porn where they, someone may have sent some sexy pictures or videos or whatever, and they use those things against them, or even doxing. But nonetheless, we want to understand that these particular perpetrators use technology, whether it be computers, smartphones, or any other technical device that will give them access to like internet or social media. And all they do is that they find a thrill to harass and stalk and try to abuse someone else, literally by instigating and participating in online hate campaigns. It's so sad. And so one of the things that I found that was such a great conviction for me, which was one reason why I knew that God was having me to leave this particular platform that I was utilizing, and I won't give the name of it, but it was because one thing that I saw that was so common was how people would screenshot, screen record, and, for some people, they're using it for great purposes, like to celebrate moments of when they're gifting people or something awesome was said or whatever. But there were some people that were using the media that they were retrieving for the sake of, one day I'm going to get this person and get them back really good. It was for malicious intent and ill will purpose. It had nothing to do with trying to help, but surely to hurt. And it was all rooted in hate. And so this is very, very problematic. And even more so problematic, you will find it in like the online gaming community. And so one thing that we know is that victims of cyberbullying, like they often don't know who are behind the accounts that are actually creating the hate that's doing the abuse, right? And part of that is because you encounter what we call trolls. We got a lot of trolls out here where people can hide behind social media. They can create all these fictitious accounts. They never have to show their face. They can go and find pictures that don't represent them. A man can be a woman and vice versa. And so you do have this to be to where it comes down to trolling. And so sometimes, you know, the people may suspect who is the bully, but you may not be able to prove it because trolling is very real. And so it does give like this, you know, this anonymous aspect to the person who's doing the trolling. And sometimes it may be people that you know. And then other times it may be people that you don't know that maybe that they may have felt a sense of rejection. Maybe you've decided to move forward in your life and you no longer want to talk to the person. Maybe you've decided that you know, maybe have been conflicted by their behavior and they're just not the choice person for you. Or maybe you did nothing at all. You just never know, like, why people choose to do cyberbullying, but they do. And so really this cyberbullying mentality is almost like, it's like a mob mentality. You know, they amplify what they do. And a lot of people jump on the bandwagon when it comes to cyberbullying. And it's almost like there's a hoorah effect versus saying, no, this is not right. We need to stop that. It becomes this rallying and versus helping the person who's being victimized. So many people are so caught up in the dramatic and the drama that comes behind the acts of what's being done that they don't even realize that they're contributing to cyberbullying. And this is a problem. And so it's, you know, it's not something that is exclusive to any particular demographic area. This is something that is happening throughout the United States, throughout the nation as a whole. Everybody who uses the internet or social media is at risk of cyberbullying and becoming a victim in some way. This is just the reality. And I've been that myself. I've been a victim of cyberbullying. Now, they may not have gotten too far. That's another story for another day. But nonetheless, it happens. And so we can be impacted and be at risk by becoming a victim of cyberbullying. And so again, I wanted to focus on like the different kinds of cyberbullying that happens. And it's crazy because, like I said, it's such a coward way that someone would hide behind social media. But sometimes you have people who do the cyberbullying where they will put their face out in front and they do certain things. And these are the people that I tell you that either they're not a coward because they're not hiding, or they're just toxic. So we need to know the difference in the people that we really surround ourselves and really be careful about the people that we allow in our lives. Cyberbullying, there's so many different kinds. One particular kind that I wanted to talk about is we want to talk about harassment. And so, you know, a lot of times we will find that people are being harassed online. Like someone would try to contact one person or like, you know, like a group of people that they can like really just harass. And like they'll go through like cell phones, texting, calling, emailing, like inboxing through the social platforms that they're using. And so a lot of times what happens with this type of harassment that happens through these social media platforms is that the victim is actually in receipt of, you know, it's really malicious or it's like really threatening that they're receiving this contact from this victim. And it's very harassing and they're like, you know, I just don't want to do nothing with it. Sometimes it causes people to say, you know, I don't even want to use this platform. Let me go to another platform. But here's the things, guys. Just because you choose to go to another platform doesn't mean that you're not going to be subjected to cyberbullying. It happens like everywhere. As long as we have social media, the internet, you're going to be faced with it. Another type is doxing. And it's when an individual or a group of people distribute another person's personal information, like their home address, cell phone numbers, like the where they work at, or like any other social media or public, you know, forums without that person's permission. Hear me out. Without the person's permission. So, doxing can cause the victim to feel very anxious and actually can create mental health, guys. It really can. Another type of cyberbullying is cyber stalking. Oh, Lord. Now listen, the platform that I was on last year in 2020, one of the things that was common when I first started was stalking. And it's really similar like to harassment, but what happens with the cyber stalking is that you'll have someone that will be very persistent about really trying to make contact with you. And so a lot of times with them being persistent, it's very likely that they will, try to find you or come close to finding you. And it doesn't matter that I guess the end result is positive or negative, because if somebody is, cyber stalking, it's more than likely to escalate their stalking into like offline. Like offline is going to be worse. So cyber stalking, they might be doing this, trying to find you, trying to get at you, all these different things. But if they continue to go in progression, and then now it's escalated to stalking to where it's offline, this can really impact people's life. And so this has happened to where it started as cyber stalking, and then the people would find the people's address and go and send them a pizza to their house. It was just crazy stuff. So things happen. It's like, wow, are we doing this as adults? Yes, we are. Another thing that you have is what they call revenge porn. And it's when, sexually explicit material is distributed, like on social media. And it's really it's for revenge. And so nobody had permission to distribute this, because like you may have had what they call sex talk, or you may have been doing some sexting or whatever. And so this information, so again, because people have gotten to the place to where they screenshot, screen record, and capture all these moments, not for the sake of keeping them for themselves, but now it's like when you do something against people as adults, we take the information that was intended to be intimate, and we actually use it against each other when we don't get our way. Okay? And so now you have this from someone who may have been in your past. Their whole purpose in this whole thing is that they want to humiliate you. They want to damage your reputation. And so again, it has nothing to do with your permission. It has something to do with their ill will intent. Okay. There are so many different type of cyberbullying, and I really want you guys to go and research. I try to minimize my time here to where I don't allow for my podcast to go beyond like a 15 to 20 minute window max. But I want to list off some, and then I also want to give you a website to go to that will really help you if you have been a victim of cyberbullying. But some other types of cyberbullying that do exist is swatting, when someone calls emergency responders with claims of dangerous events taking place at an address. Really? Corporate attacks, account hacking, false profiles. Lord, we don't even want to talk about this false profiles stuff. There's so many fake social media accounts that's out there, especially when it comes to online dating. We hear people talk about that common again, like there's no way to really protect yourself. You could not even be using a particular platform, and someone can take your picture and use it for ill will gain. Another one is slut shaming. I know it's hard, y'all, but it is what it is. I want y'all to understand that a lot of times that people cyberbully, there are so many reasons why they do it. But the reason why they choose, because it is truly a choice, is because they may have been cyberbullied themselves. They may want to fit in. Their home life may be so off kilter, and they're unhappy and frustrated with things that's going on. So now they got to take it out on someone else. Sometimes it's a matter of power. Sometimes it has everything to do with jealousy. Sometimes it has something to do with just being interactive on like a video game. And so now it comes from a really deep place of toxicity, especially when you're doing this online gaming community things that goes on. And so now you got this bullying thing because maybe someone is winning a game. So, it is definitely one that you're like, I'm in this position, I'm being cyberbullied. What do I do? The first thing you want to do is you got to talk to someone that you can trust. You have to talk to someone that you can trust. You need to make sure that your core group of people that you really have surrounded yourself with, that you can be able to go to them. It is your support system, whether it be friends, family, but you need to know that you really need to be able to trust these people, because they will be able to help you first and foremost by being able to talk these things out. Another thing when it comes to cyberbullying, guys, don't retaliate. Do not retaliate. When people are cyberbullying, you know, they want the reaction. They want you to react. So please choose not to retaliate, because eventually, just like trolls go away if you ignore them. They will go away. And so another way, what you can do as far as being cyberbullied is really to do an assessment. You know, if this person is sending you messages and is threatening, you know, and you have a reason that you're, you know, concerned about your safety, you need to contact and involve the law. Okay? You know, don't leave this and think that it won't go. Do your due diligence. Protect yourself. And so the great thing about it is that you know, the law is really on your side. If you have the proof and you've done an assessment, you have messages, etc. And so they will be able to help you as far as safety is concerned and give you advice on how to go forward as well. It is very important. And so it is unfortunate that so many people get cyberbullied. But a lot of the reason why people are cyberbullied is because people are hateful, guys. People are hateful. And that's where cyberbullying comes from. And so this is the conversation that we are to have as a people, is that we are in a season of, we are in the midst of so much darkness that surrounds us. And so many of you know that I'm a woman of faith. I believe in the Most High God. You know, I know that He is real in my life. And so I understand darkness and what we're faced with. And so when you're faced with so much darkness and your position and you know you need to be light, sometimes it could be very challenging to be light. But what I can tell you is that if we stand together to put an end to this type of childish adult behavior in a spirit of unity and oneness, come on, somebody. We can make a difference. We can make a difference. And so just know that you are really, truly not in this thing by yourself. It is unfortunate that people are so miserable in their life that they will want to be malicious like this, that they would want to, and they find joy. It makes them happy temporarily. Because, again, they feed on the energy and they keep having to do a thing. They keep having to attack people with their way in order to, because it's a power thing. It's a control thing. So I just really want to encourage you that if you find yourself in this place, that we can prevent this cyberbullying. We do not have to either be a victim of it, or we don't have to have people who we love and genuinely care about be a victim of it as well. And so one particular website that I would like to share with you that is a phenomenal website that talks about adult cyberbullying is at cybersmile.org. That's cyber, like cyberbullying, cybersmile, like smiling, smile.org. Go there and click on the link for adults, and I promise you there's going to be information there about adult cyberbullying. And the beautiful thing about cybersmile.org is that actually you're going to find information about catfishing. You're going to find information, you know, even about mental health, and then also parents and kids and different things like that, and just online security as a whole. So go educate yourself. Go do more research. I implore you, please. Don't sit back on this, guys, because in order for us to really, truly make social media a place, because a lot of us use social media as an outlet, and it can be, but in order for us to reclaim the place that has become something that we enjoy, we also have to do our due diligence to make impact. So I hope this has been very helpful to you guys. I look forward to hearing your input as always. But thank you so much for tuning in. And until next week, listen, you owe it to yourself to be good to yourself. So go on ahead and do that self-care thing, okay? Let's end cyberbullying, okay? Adult cyberbullying, y'all stop that. It's cowardly and it's toxic. See y'all later. Bye.